that when you're talking, that you're singing to the back of the room and working your way forwards. It's real easy to get caught up with the folks that are in the front. So try to make some eye contact with the folks in the back and bring them into your show. Try to avoid carrying on conversations that only you and the person you're having it with can hear. You'll lose the back of the room, they'll go to the bar, and then you've lost them at that particular point in time. If you are in a place kind of like the Two Old Hippies, where people are going to walk in and walk out, make sure that you identify yourself a couple times. I liked, and then you talked about your Twitter, where they could find you, you know, so if somebody wanted to find you, they could do that. If you have a name, Maddie, I like the way you spelled your name, because there could be various spellings of your name. So take the opportunity to let them know how to find you. If you are scheduled to do 3 songs, have 5 prepared. If you're scheduled to do 5, have 7 prepared, because you never know what happens, and if they ask you to play longer, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. So always over-prepare for what you have. Next thing, too, always be nice to your sound guy. He's going to either make you sound great or he's going to make you sound like crap, and they could really do so. Make sure that you at least acknowledge and thank them and appreciate them for what they're doing. Also, thank the door person when you walk into the door. And if you have download cards, maybe stick a can full of download cards in a $10 bill and hand it to the guy at the front door, and he'll start making sure that people have your music, because you're not necessarily always going to be able to get to everyone. Okay, so strategically work the room. Another thing that I'm a big fan of is if somebody says, you know, you get that big DJ voice, you know, ladies and gentlemen, Haley, Georgia. And then you come on and go, hi, I'm Haley, Georgia. Well, duh, the big voice just said who you were. So just start playing. If you get that big announcement, just start playing. Don't tell them how old you are unless you're looking for pity. I hate that somebody goes, hi, I'm 15. I don't care. I want you to entertain me, 15-year-old. You know what I mean? It's like, unless you want me to judge you, don't tell me how old you are. Play. Impress me, and then let me come up and go, wow, how old are you? You know, I always see those kids. All that does at that point is allows me in my mind to say, oh, that's sweet. We'll see how they are when they get older. Well, if you're out there working your butt off, you don't want to wait till you get older. You want them to respect you right now. So don't get caught into that trap. Also, if you're acoustic, get your guitar instructor to teach you some amazing riff that you can walk up, plug in, and just start going where everyone's attention is like, holy cow, you know, these people mean business. Because what they're going to be accustomed to, especially if you're a girl, are the simple, same little, become a badass on your instrument. Take a little extra time, learn yourself something cool. If you're a vocalist, about 10 seconds of one of those crazy little things that gets their attention, and then boom, you start playing. Now you got their attention. Now you're able to, at the second song, when you're done, introduce yourself, thank them for being there, boom. Get right into your next song. Another key point is a lot of people wait till after their last song to make the announcements that they want to make. They don't care. At that point, a lot of times, especially if you're the opener, they're waiting for the headliner. My suggestion would be to do it before going into your last song. Suggestion. You know, hey, I'm Maddie Newton. I want to meet all of you that want to meet me. I'll be right over there, pointing out to where it is that you're going to be. I will be there afterwards, and I'll stay. As long as you guys want to meet me, I'll stay there. Boom. Then go right into your last song. If you need to do any of your thank yous, do them before your last song, and then leave them on a high note. Tempo-wise, I always like to start them high and leave them high. If you're going to have to fit in a ballad, coordinate it somewhere there in the middle. Elena, where she was at, I loved how she was strumming along when she was telling her story. I love that. If a lot of you have never heard the CD Acoustic Motel by Jack Ingram, I suggest you get it. He's brilliant at speaking in between the songs. And he did this because it was just him and his guitar at a hotel, and they recorded that CD live there. That's why it's called Acoustic Motel. So check that one out. Another thing that I want to highly encourage you guys to do, especially when you're going out, is hand sanitizer. Those of you that are doing the fair and festival season, it's going to be sweaty. And a lot of you that are short are going to be right in the armpit of your fan as they're taking these pictures with you. And it's going to happen over and over and over and over and over again. And in country music, our fans just want to love us, right? And then, oh, that's special, you know. You ain't got to worry about it in your format, so they'll be like knuckle fisted or something. So just wash your hands. But make sure that you take care of yourself. Also be sure too, young ladies, especially, if you get a chance to open up for a big artist at the fairs and they've got the cameras, make sure your pits are shaved. Don't know how many times I've looked up and went, oh boy. Okay? Ask somebody on your crew to do the little port check, to do the every check, because if you're beautiful, the camera's going to want to get right up in on you. Okay? And everything's in HD now. And those screens are huge. Okay? So we laugh now, but I can tell you a couple shows where a pretty little blonde with curly hair was like, when we played it back. So you want to take care of that. Also, too, is if you are a male tour manager, hide your razors if you have female artists, because they will find your razor to take care of their business if they have to. So that's just an extra little one there. Okay, the other thing that's very important, and this is the whole reason, and a lot of the reason why I brought Susan here, is a lot of you need to learn how to take care of your voices properly. And a lot of it is what you do when you're not singing. A lot of it is what you're eating. A lot of it is what you're drinking or not drinking. A lot of it is how much you're sleeping or not sleeping. And if you don't have this, you don't have anything. And a lot of the young people especially think they're invincible, and they're not. And they're going to be growing through this vocal time in their life as things start getting bigger and spread and everything. That's the only way I know how I can say it. Your voice is going to go through quite a few changes. If you don't take care of it now and learn the proper techniques now, you will be out of a singing career by the time you're 21 or 22 years old. Parents of young people, do not let them sing another Martina McBride or Carrie Underwood song again, please. I beg of you, because it's a shouting contest at that point. And they're not going to be able to do it when they're 16, and they're going to try, and they're going to hurt themselves. And then they're not going to be able to do it when they're 17, and when they're 17, they know it all anyway, so when the adults come to tell them they need to go to vocal lessons, they don't want to listen. And then at 18, they don't have a career anymore because they chose not to listen. So the key right now, and I speak from truth and experience, and as people who've never been to Two Old Hippies before, we don't BS here. We tell it like it is. This is your business. A lot of you have parents that are invested an awful lot of money in you. A lot of you are coming to school, spending an awful lot for an education. We do these things as a way to give you that information. You know, the folks that I bring are working with people signed to labels right now. Those of you that have never met me, I helped launch Taylor Swift's career. I currently consult Big Machine Records. I've worked with Sony. The band Perry hires me to come teach them how to talk to a bigger audience. So we have experience in what it is that we do, and we're passing that on to you. So you can take with it what you want from it, but know that when we tell you something, it's usually from experience, and we're trying to help you avoid making those mistakes. One of the things that I want to bring Susan up here now, I was going through the web, and what I'm constantly trying to do is I'm constantly trying to find ways that you guys can get everything you need and not have to take out a second mortgage on your house. Recordings are important, but they don't have to cost a fortune. Websites, very important, but they don't have to cost a fortune. Voice lessons, very, very important. And I kept hearing how expensive they were, and I'm like, crap, no wonder nobody goes. You know, no wonder people are trying to do it on their own. And then I was on a website doing some research, and I ran into Susan's stuff. And I started reading and started kind of playing her samples and kind of listening to the things that she was talking about. And I'm like, all right, this woman's awesome. Let me go find out how much I'm going to have to break the bank for to work with her. And I called her up, and we started talking. And when she told me what her hourly rate was, and then when she told me some of the people that she's working with who I enjoy as singers, that was cool and all, but you really get to know something from somebody. A lot of us can talk, but those that do really impress me. So I went down and started listening to her demos. And when she had these young kid DVDs and CDs and was giving these vocal warm-ups that were only like 2 minutes long, I'm like, yes, an artist can handle 2 minutes. You know, everything we love about the artist is what we hate about the artist, but we need you to be you because we're not going up on stage to sing and be pretty. So we're always going to try to find things that will work into your favor. This happened to be one of them. So, Susan, that microphone is yours there. I'm going to give you this time to do what it is that you do. What I asked her to do, I said, would you come along and maybe show some cool vocal exercises, things that you guys can do while you're on the road, and then maybe give some tips of some things that you guys can do to take care of your voices. So I'm going to hush for a second and go say hi to Rachel. And I'll be back. So Susan Anders, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rick. Okay, hello.